Hey, it's Mega here, and I made it back from the Lilliputian Hare Scramble. Alright, and check this out. Bam! There we go. I got the finisher pin, man. You don't know how hard it was to get this pin, okay? This pin has a lot of meaning to it. This so symbolizes the struggles that me and the Lightbee went through to get this, okay? The Lightbee got battered up pretty bad, man. It yeah, a lot of stuff broke on it. There are a lot of battle scars, so we'll go over that in a bit, okay? So yeah. So I drove straight there from my home in San Jose. It's in Marysville, California. That's about 160 miles from where Hayes Omega lives. Hayes Omega hasn't done a District 36 Hare Scramble all year long, since like February, okay? The last one that we did was the Lazy Bum Hare Scramble, and I'll tell you that one kicked my ass too. So this one kicked my ass also. So all I'm saying is, man, the people that you're racing against, they're like super fast. I was racing in the C group. That's supposed to be the beginners, right? They didn't seem like beginners. They seemed like they were really freaking fast, dude. I'm telling you, man. Yeah. Anyway, I'm pretty sure I was the only electric bike out there. So the funny thing is, when I went through the tech, it was funny. It's like I think I just rolled through, and they're like, "Yeah, it's electric. There's no exhaust." And they're like, "Yeah, okay, just keep on going." And then there's a guy. I guess there's a guy wearing like a scoring shirt, or he's like a referee or something. And then he's all like, "Wait! That bike isn't legal. You can't use that here." And then he's all looking at it, and it's like, wait, oh, it has 19-inch front and stuff. I told him, yeah, it's a dirt bike. It's an electric dirt bike. It's like, okay, you can race it. Like, what class are you running in? I'm like, C200, the mini bikes class. So yeah. So that is the class that Hayes Omega rode in, C200. It was either C200, CVET, or a CVET Plus, okay? C200 class is, I think, 90cc bikes up to 200cc, okay? And they start in the front, okay? You can see this number 2 here on the handguard. That means you start in the second row, okay? So that means you're like pretty much in front of everyone already. So everyone is just gonna bulldoze you. That's what I'm gonna say, okay? Why don't they just have the smaller bikes in the back? I don't understand, you know? Is the C200 class a fast class? I don't know, man. But I tell you this, they kicked my ass in the beginning, so maybe they were, I'm not sure. So anyway, that's the class he rode in. We could have rode in CVET or CVET Plus. CVET, I think, is 30 and up, 30 years old and up. And then CVET Plus is 35 years old and up. So Hayes Omega's like 38, okay? So we would be CVET Plus. So yeah, you know. But I normally run C200. I'd rather do it by like the size of the bikes, you know. But those little bikes are fast. Yeah, those KTMs are fast, and oh my god. So anyway, but we got the pin, okay? But it was very hard to get, I'll tell you this now, okay? Hayes Omega's glad we brought the second battery, but it was a real pain in the ass to get it running, okay? If I had another 72-volt battery, it would have been better. In fact, but anyway, let's go through the play-by-play, okay? So we're lining up, you know. It's kind of cool that Hayes Omega doesn't have to start his bike up. Oh my god, those guys start up their bikes so fast. They were really fast. Hayes Omega did not get the whole shot on them, that's for sure. Maybe, you know, I might have fallen somewhere like in the middle somewhere, but I'll have to check the video out. Okay. So yeah, we're in the C200 class, the last race of the day, and we're just blasting off the start line, okay? All the bikes are already in front of Hayes Omega. So, but Hayes Omega's plan for this race, okay? So this is the AAR, okay? By the way, just in case you guys don't know, AAR is After Action Review, and it's what was supposed to happen, what really happened, you know, kind of like what went wrong, and what we could do to improve upon it, okay? So those are what's an AAR is all about, okay? So what was supposed to happen? All right, we were supposed to race, okay? Yeah, we did the race, okay? So here's what Hayes Omega was thinking was gonna happen, okay? Hayes Omega brought a second battery. As you can see, the Sauron battery is inside the Sauron right now, okay? Inside the Lightbee, okay? Not the Lightspeed battery, okay? Hayes Omega had done a lot of tuning with the Lightspeed battery, but not the Sauron battery, okay? So, and then the other day I did a vlog about like, hey, well, what if we're gonna practice? We got to practice a battery swap, and it just wasn't working very good, okay? I wish I had fiddled around with it a little bit more because I kind of figured out what I had to do. You know, I just had to turn the tower down like way low, okay, so it wouldn't cut it out. But anyway, yeah. So I brought 2 batteries. I didn't know how long the course was. I didn't know. They said it was like 4 miles or something. 4 or 5 miles. They were saying the laps were around like 10 minutes. So I asked the guy, yeah, before the race, that's what I asked them. So that kind of throws everything that Hayes Omega planned out the window, because I thought we were going to do 2 or 3 laps, but the laps were really, really short. Turns out we wound up doing like around 5 or 6 laps, okay? It was nuts. I've never done 5 or 6 laps in a freaking hare scramble before, okay? I'm used to doing like 2 or 3 laps. So Hayes Omega did all these calculations. Okay, if you're 66% after the first lap, that means you're good to go for like 3 laps. Yeah. So and then like if you're at 50%, then you should probably go back in the next lap. But the laps are really short, so I just kept on banging out laps. Boom, 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 boom. Okay. Okay, I'm not gonna lie. So let's get over what really happened. Okay, I did have the second battery. I put it in the pits. Okay, and I didn't think I was going to use it. I did not want to do a battery swap because it's just a pain in the ass with the NXT display. You know, you have to reprogram everything. It just wastes time. You know, I was just too much fiddle fucking around with the NXT display. Okay, but anyway. All right, let's go over what happened. So first lap comes, boom, shotgun goes off, and we're off. Hayes Omega's like in the back of the pack somewhere of the C200 class. And then, so it's kind of like a left-hander onto like a kind of some jumps and stuff. And then it goes to a sand section. Okay, I've never done a sand section in a hare scramble. At least I don't think so. Yeah, I don't think so. But there was a like really deep soft sand. It was no joke, okay? Yeah, it was no joke. Lots of deep sand, and it was probably like barely a 2-track. Maybe you can get a quad in there, but yeah. And it was really whooped out. So there were sand whoops, you know? And the Lightbee just doesn't do very good on whoops, okay? The whoops and hill climbs are the Sauron Lightbee's enemy, okay? I took care of the hill climb part because this thing has a lot of power now, okay? But yeah, so yeah, there was people like crashing in the sand, and I thought, oh man, these guys are gonna have to get up and start their bike again, you know. The one thing Hayes Omega did not have to worry about that everyone else did is stalling your bike, okay? You can't stall an electric bike, okay? That was the good thing. But I think, I'm not sure, I went down somewhere in the first lap, somewhere in the middle somewhere, and then there was a section that was just a lot of mud. They watered it down way too much, okay? The good thing is, like, after a couple laps, all the mud was gone, pretty much. So like, yeah, they just watered it way too much. Or maybe it was just wet like that already. I'm not sure, man. But when these tires get packed up with mud, there is just no traction. It just slip and slide all over the place. That's how muddy it was, okay? That one section. It was just one section. Some of them were pretty muddy, too. Like, they watered the whole track before a thing. And it, I don't know. In my opinion, it didn't really help me all that much. I don't like riding in, like, really soppy mud condition, okay? But yeah, I kind of went down on the mud section, because I couldn't get any traction. So and then somebody rear-ended me really hard, and boom, bike goes down hard. NXT display busted off the mount. Okay, so now Hayes Omega told himself, why did you bring? I told myself to bring some silicone tape just in case that NXT display gets busted off of the mount. And what did Hayes Omega forget to do is to bring the tape, put the tape in his like little pouch, okay, right here, this little pouch right here, okay. And what I was thinking is, if it did get busted off, I could tape it. I could tape it around the handlebar, you know, and it would be okay, you know, as long as it's on there somewhere secure, you know. I think, yeah, I don't even want that on there when we race, you know. But I don't know. This is the first time I've done a hare scramble with the NXT display. It's just not, you know, it just kind of broke off, you know. I think this happened when that guy rear-ended me. My number plate snapped in half, okay? I don't know how that happened, dude. He must have hit me really hard. I have to watch the video again. And my side stand got bent. So the side stand is now kind of touching the swing arm. It's cut a little groove into the swing arm. I'm like, what the heck, man? Just because that guy rear-ended me, man. He must have hit me really hard, dude. I don't know. But, yeah, that sucked, dude. So yeah, I have to kind of, the NXT display fell off. And the handlebars were all bent and stuff. I had to go straighten them again. You know, it's, you know, still run stuff, you know. It's got the mountain bike handlebar thing, so it gets crooked really easily. So I have to, it was pretty easy to straighten, that's for sure. I guess it must be getting looser or something. So yeah. So now we're already like in big trouble. It's like, shit, dude, NXT display broke off. So I kept on trying to tuck it into the number plate just to hide it back there, so it wouldn't fall off. I knew if the NXT display fell off and I lost it somewhere, my bike isn't gonna run anymore. So you need to have that NXT display on there, because I know it will not run without it. Okay. So I was able to tuck it in there. After a couple tries, you know, I had to stop on the side of the course, and then a couple tries, and this bike just whizzing past Hades Omega. Oh my god! So I got past so much today, and I got roosted so much, dude. I'm telling you, there were some really fast guys out there. When they get on the throttle, they freaking roost the crap out of you. You're just eating dirt. I'm telling you, I got dirt and mud in my face. It was, yeah. I don't think I've ever been roosted so bad ever, you know. And the terrain was really soft. There was a lot of soft dirt and the sand section. I kind of dreaded going through the sand section, but okay, so yeah, so Hades Omega crashed really bad. Well, I didn't crash really bad. Somebody crashed into me, okay, and they screwed my bike up, man. I should do an insurance claim on him, man. Shit. But anyway, but yeah, so just keep on driving on. You know, I've managed to get it tucked in there eventually. We lost a lot of time, you know, and then we're just doing the rest of the course, and then Lightbe's doing okay. There was a lot of kind of like, you go down this one section and you just make a quick turn, or there was a lot of flowing turns, kind of like bank turns, so you can just, you know, just pitch the bike sideways and just hit the berm, you know, type of thing. It was a lot of, the course was a lot of motocross stuff, okay? It was a lot of motocross stuff, a lot of motocross jumps. There was some like little whoops and stuff. Some maybe kind of single track sections, you know. And then there was that sand section. Oh, and there was kind of like there was what they call a grass section. The grass section was like kind of like a flat tracking section is what I'm going to call it. And ruts. There was a lot of ruts. Like, there was just so many bikes riding through there. It just got rutted up so bad. But you could definitely, there was like a ideal line through a lot of the course, okay? So, what is it? Yeah, so Hades Omega would be on this perfect line, you know, that kind of goes through everything. And you can hear a bike behind you. You're like, oh, somebody's behind me. Well, I'm not going to let you pass, like, you know, without a fight type of thing. So I would just, you know, be, you know, doing the line and everything. And yeah, I noticed it was hard to pass people on this track, because it was kind of narrow, okay? All right, so I did notice this bike. After about the first lap, Hades Omega kind of got settled in. All the people that passed me, they're all gone already. They're way in front of me. And then so, like, now I'm just kind of like, yeah, I'm just, you know, I'm just going at my own pace now. I don't have to worry about people passing me, or me passing people. I mean, I did pass a couple people, you know, but I was just like, yeah, okay, let's ride this. And I found out this bike is actually very good in the sand. The tires on this bike, they were perfect. They were great for this course. So like I said, there's a lot of soft loose dirt on this, these tires are amazing. The Shinko 456, I think, F456, and the Kenda Trackmaster. Okay, Kenda Trackmaster, I'm definitely not going to go with that again, but they did great. Okay, I found out like if there was like a really sharp turn and there was a berm, all I had to do was just throw the bike sideways and then the bike will just turn, you know. I don't even need to get on the gas or get off the gas, you know. I could just kind of just coast into the turn and then just hit that berm, you know, and go sideways. So it was actually a lot of good motocross practice. So is what I'm gonna say. Like Hayes Mega, I don't know. I just haven't done a lot of motocross, or I haven't ridden at this motocross place before. So that was another cool thing I liked about this place. I'd never been there before. It was called Riverfront Motocross Park, and it was just like, yeah, it was like a big motocross track. It was pretty rad. I really enjoyed it. Okay, I'm not gonna lie. Like I said, it was a struggle racing, but yeah, I just didn't like getting passed by a lot of bikes. You know, there was a lot of people that would like crash in front of me too, and then I would have to go around them. There was a lot of people crashing at the finish line. Okay, like, or they would stall their bike at the finish line and they'd be kicking, and I'd be right behind them. Like, are you for real, bro? And then I would have to kind of, I would just think like, oh, just do a pivot turn around them, you know? But then they would get their bike started and then I would be stuck behind them again. So, and then they would just rock it off because their bikes are like a 400cc power, you know, that kind of stuff. Yeah. And then I have to say, the power, the bike had plenty of power. I got the 62 sprocket on there, man. And I could not use it all, okay? I could not use it all. It's just, and the suspension beats you up so bad. The suspension is shit on this bike. I'm not gonna lie, man. The rear suspension's okay, but the front suspension, I bottomed it out so much today. So much. Because there was a lot of kind of whoops or ruts and stuff that we had to get it in. And I could feel it. Whenever it bottomed out, you could just feel it like boom! It just hits really hard, you know? I never bottomed out hard enough to just stop the bike and to throw me off the bars, but it just, you know, it's just kind of jarring, man, when it bottoms out. It sucks, dude. So definitely, I think before the next race, I'm gonna try to put a preload spacer on here to give me a little more preload so it doesn't bottom out as much. I feel that like I'm just a little bit too heavy for the spring in there, so and it just can't handle the terrain, you know, or we just need a better shock, you know. Okay, so anyway, let's talk about like some mishaps, okay? so Hayes Mega was actually doing pretty good on the course. After about the second lap, I kind of knew everything already. Like after one or two laps, it's just like, yeah, okay, I know this course. I know where this bike is good at, and you know, there was a lot of shortcuts. There was like lots of different paths you could take, you know. Like eventually I started finding these shortcuts, like, oh, if you go this way, it cuts through this way a little bit, but you have to make a sharper turn here, you know, or if you go this way, it goes around here, you know. So there was a lot of shortcuts they put into the trails. So this is what I noticed. Like, you can take different lines and stuff. It's kind of like miniature golf. That's what it reminds me of, miniature golf. So the one rider goes down one hole, or one golf ball goes down one hole, and then they kind of wind up. They take a different path, but they wind up in the same place. You know, it's that kind of thing. You know, it was kind of interesting. Yeah, but yeah, you know, if you just kind of looked at the course and you took the best line, you wouldn't even have to go really fast. You know, because you would be taking the best line and like you would be blocking people. I remember there's a lot of people stuck behind me, but then there was a lot of people that were just really freaking fast, man. I'm telling you, like, this is C-Class, man. C-Class is supposed to be beginners, you know? like crap, man. I felt like I was like a freaking roadblock out there, man. I'm not lying. Okay, so anyway, so we were doing pretty good. I noticed this bike did really good in the sand sections. One thing Hayes Mega dreaded was following somebody into the sand sections. There was a lot, and it got also kind of dusty and sandy. Like, people would roost you all the time. I remember there was this one turn, like, I was following somebody, and then they're just kicking up dirt all over the place, and then like I go to turn my bike, and I just see dust. Let me put my pin down right here. I just see dust on the ground. Okay, I can't see through it, you know. And then so I put my front tire in it, and boom, it just goes down all of a sudden. I'm like, what the hell, dude? I couldn't see what was in there because there was so much dust, you know. So yeah, it sucked following other people. If I was out there by myself, I would have had more fun if I was out there by myself. So yeah, when I was out there by myself, when there was nobody around me, I had more fun riding, you know, because I could ride at my own pace. Okay. But yeah, this bike did really good through the sand. This is the first time I've ridden it through really deep sand sections. It was like a sandy whoop section, and it did really good. I just kind of stood up a little bit, and then, you know, we made sure we went down the whoops and went up and down the whoops. There were some really killer whoops. There's a lot of drop-offs. Like sometimes you would go over a whoop and it would just boom, just go straight down, you know, or there would be like a hill, like kind of like a jump sort of. You're gonna go up it, but it just goes straight down at the other end. So like, but after a while I could tell there was like two of them that were like in kind of succession, and I would go up it, and I know, oh, it's gonna go straight down, so just drop the bike, you know. And then the second one I think had a turn right after it. So you're going down, and you're going pretty fast because you're going down. And I would just hit the regen, and then the ass would like kick around, and then I would just rock it out of it. So that leads me to talk to regen, man. I use the regen throttle a whole lot, man. It helps a lot. It's basically, I use it as a rear brake sort of, but it has the benefit of recharging your battery. So I used it a lot. I used it because there was a lot of just really tight turns where you have to just get the bike to kick over. So I would just like just dab that regen throttle, and then, you know, it would just slow the bike down, and then you could like pitch the bike, you know. It worked really good. So regen throttle, really good for riding in the dirt, especially this teeny tiny little regen throttle. Okay. So yeah, I really like the regen, especially on that really kind of tight motocross stuff. It worked really good. And this bike did really good in the grass section also. So the grass section, I call it like a flat track section because it's just flat and grass, and there's like dirt and stuff. And you could just really just kind of rail around the corners and stuff, you know. That's why I call it like a flat track section, you know. And these tires are amazing. They did really good, okay. I didn't really have all that much trouble with them, other than they're like, yeah, they're really freaking skinny. But for the most part, yeah, they saved my ass, man. They actually worked pretty good in the sand too. The electric bike is great in the sand because it has so much power and torque. It just, you know, paddles through it. I never got stuck in the sand, you know. And then if somebody went down and right next to me, I wouldn't have to worry about stalling. I'll just go around them, you know. Okay, so other mishaps, okay. I think around the fourth lap, I'm going to, okay. On the fourth lap, man, Hades Omega's like kind of on fire now. Like, I got my groove going, and we're at almost at the finish line. There's these 3 big jumps that you have to do before you go to the finish line. And so I'm like, oh yeah, let's just freaking launch the light bee, man. And I'm just launching the light bee, man. And okay, I've only had this happen to me one other time. I was on the mini motocross track, and I was doing these crazy jumps. You know, I was getting some real mad air on the mini motocross track at Metcalf, and the chain came off. So I had to get it back on there. But what I did is I went off the track a little bit so I wouldn't get my ass run over. And then I was like, and it destroyed my freaking, my chain guard. It took my chain guard with it. So definitely, I think you should probably take the chain guard off if you're going to be doing a dirt bike race. So I'm just going to take that off. And yeah, so it broke the chain guard. But fortunately, the chain didn't derail off of the counter sprocket. So I was able to just kind of just get it back on there and then just spin it. I think that sprocket is bent. I tried to bend it back as best I could. I think we have to get a new rear sprocket. That's what I'm gonna say. And I tried the 48-2 sprocket, and I don't like it. Is what I'm gonna say. I think somewhere between a 48 and 62 sprocket is what Hades Omega is gonna get for the rear. I don't think it's good to have too big a sprocket because it could get bent like I bent that one. So yeah, well, you know what? Maybe it got bent when that guy rear-ended me. Yeah. That could have happened. They could have got bent again, so I have to go check it out. Yeah, so the chain came off, and I had to get off course. I was like, I knew what happened. Like when I was in the air, and I hear like clunk, 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 crank, grind, you know. I was like, oh crap! and we're just flying through the air, you know, and then I just have to stop it and get off of freaking the track. And then I look at it, I was like, oh crap, man, what are we gonna do? I pull it off the track, and then I just get the chain back on there, okay? I work the chain back on the sprocket, and then off we go, okay? I remember I tightened that chain pretty tight, you know, so it must have got loose again. I'm not sure. The dirt sprocket, the 62 sprocket on mine is like, it's kind of weird. Like half of the chain is really tight, and then the other half is kind of loose. So I don't know what the deal is with that. It never did that before. So I think it's probably time to change the sprocket, I guess. That Lunicycle sprocket's been through hell and back. So that's all I'm gonna say. So yeah, that was one problem we had. There was the problem with that guy. I went down and a dude freaking rear-ended me, really bad. Okay, I got the fender broke here. Okay. All fender's all gone now, so I guess I don't have to worry about it. I don't know what happened. I don't know how it broke. It might have broken hitting the heatsink. Okay, I didn't have any instances. I didn't think I had any instances of anything overheating. The controller didn't overheat. The heatsink didn't get too hot. The battery was running fine. You know, I can't check that stuff while I'm racing, anyways. You know, I didn't pay any attention to it, man. I was just focused on riding. The regen throttle worked great. Power, man, there was just so much power. There's like I feel there's just way too much power, and the bike just doesn't handle good enough. It doesn't handle the whoops and like the dips and stuff. It just seems the faster you go, the harder it is to ride this bike. Is what I'm gonna say, okay? Because we had to do a battery swap. Okay, so about route, I think on the 5th lap, we ran out of power. Hades Omega was not paying attention to the for a couple laps. Hades Omega was looking at the gauge, and I was like, okay, we got this much. Keep on going, and then I noticed we're about halfway through the 5th lap, and I'm looking down, and I'm like, oh, it says we're at like 10%. That can't be good. Hopefully we'll make it to the finish line. And sure enough, we didn't. I remember we were going around the corner, and then I went to go give it some throttle, and like, oh, it didn't give me power. So yeah, and then I knew like, oh, that's it. We gotta just really limp it there now. So I just started kind of paddling with it, and then it would die, and then I would have kind of like try to push it. I knew like we were about like maybe like 1/8 of a mile from the finish line. I was like, we were like almost there, you know. And then I had to exit the track pretty much where the chain came off before. I exited the track. I pushed it. And I told them, hey, I need to go to the pits, and I need to get another. Well, they're like, oh, so you're out of juice. You don't have any more power. Like, yeah, I don't got any more power, but I got another battery, so I got to go to the pits and get it. So they're like, yeah, okay, you can ride your bike. You can try to push your bike over there to near the pits, and you got to take the battery out, and you got to carry it to the pits, and then take your other battery and then carry it back out to the bike. Okay, so that's what I did. I'm telling you, Hades Omega was like so tired. I did not want to carry this 25-pound battery, you know. So I pulled the Lightspeed battery out, and then I walk it to the pits, and I'm telling myself, yeah, you should probably hurry up. You should probably run, but in my mind, I'm like, you should probably run, man. We're racing right now. But I was like, nah, I'm so tired. You just use this to take a break, man. So that's what I did. I got the other battery and I walked back like pretty slowly. I'm not gonna lie. And then what was it? Yeah. And then we went and swapped the battery pack, and there was people like cheering for me, and like hey, or there's people like kind of joking too, like hey, there's no charge. You got a charger out here? Like I know I don't got a charger, but I got a second battery. So in the field, I did a pit stop battery swap. Okay, that's the first time I ever done it on the Sauron. Okay, and it sucked. I'm telling you. I told you I practiced it the day before, and I knew it was gonna suck. I did not want to do a battery swap, but I did it. Okay, so I did it. I swapped it. Okay, I had to go into the freaking NXT. I had to pull it out where it was nicely resting. You know, it was all right. And I had to program everything. I had to program the power, the regen throttle, and the regen throttle was like really weak, man. And what else did we had to do? I think that was it. I didn't mess around with the motor current because it's still messed up on this firmware. and then we get going. Okay, so after I program it, like I'm here fiddle fucking around with the NXT display. I'm like, this is not what I wanted to be doing. If I had another 72 volt battery, it's just take one battery out, put the other one in. No changing battery profiles if you still got a 272 volt battery. So I think that's what we're gonna go with. The NXT display is just not, it's not what I thought it would be, man. It's just not easy to change battery profiles. You can't just say, oh, 60 volt battery, let's go. You have to reprogram everything. It's pretty much does a restore on it, and then you have to program everything. The brakes, the throttle power, everything needs to be reprogrammed. I'm like, oh my god, what a freaking, and I had to do that. Okay, so and then we're riding along, and I knew, like, if we got on the throttle too hard, it's gonna cut out, because it's trying to pull too much power from the battery, and the battery just cuts out on you. Okay, because I tried it yesterday. Okay, so I knew. I said, oh damn it. All right, so what I did is I lowered the power down. So there, when you hit the 60 volt profile, it says 5100 watts for sport mode, and then 2100 for eco mode. I just made it both 2100. Okay, and I was like, oh, okay. Well, hopefully it'll work at 2100 because it's not working at 5000 watts. So yeah, I rode the race in pretty much eco mode the whole way, and it sucked, dude. It didn't have power at all, dude. Yeah, it was like riding it eco mode pretty much. But what I noticed is the Suron is a lot easier to ride when it doesn't have a lot of power, when it's slow. It seemed a lot easier to ride because I didn't have to worry about like looping the bike. The throttle is very touchy when it has a lot of power, but when it doesn't have a lot of power, I just held the throttle open the whole time and I just rode it, so it was a lot easier. So I think for dirt races, I'm going to turn the power back a little bit, even with the Lightspeed battery. But it was so easy to ride. The only problem I ran into was the sand section. So I knew I was going to have trouble in the sand section because I needed power in the sand section, and I didn't have it with 2100 watts. Okay, yeah. And then so we rode the rest. Yeah, I got stuck in the sand section a couple times, and I had to like paddle my way through. But I noticed, like, if you get a lot of momentum, you can carry it through the sand. So if you kind of lugging it through the sand and you got 2100 watts, it's not gonna go, man. So you have to kind of keep going, keep your momentum going. And after a while, I got through the sand section, and then poof, and then the bike was so easy to ride. Like I would just, like I said, I would hold the throttle open and I would just throw the bike sideways. And I was like, man, yeah, this is actually a lot easier, and it's a lot less stressful. It's not beating me up as much. So I think that's what we're gonna do for the dirt races. We're just gonna turn the power down. Honestly, I don't really need a whole lot of power on the Suron in the dirt. The only thing I need power for is to go up hills. Okay, if there's like really steep hills, I need the power to go up the hills. That's it. That's all I need the power for, man. Because I'm telling you, I probably only use a fraction of that freaking 16,000 watts most of the time. And the bike just will not. It's just not pleasant to ride when the terrain is rough. If you're going fast and then they're just like it's kind of a little bit whoopy or it's not totally flat, it just beats you up, man. It just beats you up badly. Okay, so that was it, and then we finished with 80% left on the battery. So and then yeah, we finished. So I told myself, man, you gotta finish. I will push this thing to the finish line to get the finisher pin. Okay. Sure enough, I almost did that, but I had a second battery. So if I hadn't done the battery swap, we wouldn't have made it, okay? And I'm telling you, Hades Mega tried his best to ration the power, okay? I told myself, don't get on it all the way. Don't go too fast, I'm not going to lie. Sometimes Hades Mega got a little throttle happy, And Hades Mega was just launching it off of some of the jumps, man. And then that's when the chain came off. So I definitely think we need a different sprocket, okay? This sprocket is just, I think it's bent and it's just throwing the chain off, and it's just kind of weird right now, But so I think we're gonna have to get a new rear sprocket. All right, so yeah, we finished. So that was quite the ordeal. It didn't quite, I'm telling you, all these District 36 hare scrambles, Hades Mega gets his ass whooped every freaking time, okay? So we got another race next Sunday, okay, a week from now. So I got to get this bike ready for that race. It's going to be the Hollister Hills Hairball, okay? And I've done that one before, and I think this bike will be okay. But if I had that 21700 Lightspeed battery that I ordered, I think if I had that 21700 Lightspeed battery that I ordered for the race that we did today, I think we could have completed it without doing a battery swap, because it has an extra 2 amp hours of charge. So I think that would have been enough to get us one more lap, okay? But we finished with 80% charge on the Sauron pack, okay? So we blew through the whole Lightspeed battery pack, and we ate through 20% of the Sauron pack, okay?